In this short video, we will be looking at Mama Leni Pacquiao at Abalos, Pope Francis, Filipino Pope, Camille Villar, Vote Buying, at marami pang iba. Kamusta over me? Ako nga pala si Ovor Joseph at welcome sa News and Worthy Recap Weekly Edition number 100. We've touched over since last week, so skip the answers provided if it piques your interest. Here are some pictures commentary for your convenience. Pope Francis, or Lolo Kiko, namatay. Filipino Pope, malapit na. Nandito na naman tayo in the crossroads of history. Namatay na ang isang revolutionaryong figura ng simbahang Katolika. Isang relatively progresibong Santo Papa galing sa kontinente ng Timog Amerika, galing sa bansa ng Pilak. He died matapos ang Easter Sunday o ang Pasko ng pagkabuhay ni Jesus. Poetic on the nose, pero poetic. Si Arsobispo ng Roma at Hari ng Vatican City, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, edad 88, sa komplikasyon na dala ng kanyang mga sakit tulad ng not single but double pneumonia among others. Namatay siya dahil sa isang cerebral stroke na nagresulta sa kanyang coma at consequently cardiac arrest.
Carissimi fratelli e sorelle, con profondo dolore devo annunciare la morte del nostro Santo Padre Francesco. Alle ore 7:35 di questa mattina, il Vescovo di Roma Francesco è tornato alla casa del Padre.
The world wept, or at least yung mga simpatetico sa kanyang cause. The cause for compassion at truth. The cause for justice at empathy. Sa ating mga kapwa-taong inaapi at nasa laylayan. No, I'm not going to theorize kung sino ang pumatay sa kanya. Although, of course, there are some people who just suck so bad. To the point na napilitan lang after brushing Vance off ni Pope Francis ang kanyang lengthy meeting with J.D. Vance. Dahil nga sa kanyang differences sa politika at ang walang awang polisiya ng administrasyong Trump sa mundo ng komersya at world order. Kasama na yung internal at domestic politics.
Hello. So good to see you.
So
God bless you and good morning. How are you?
Find yourself happy
Good.
Easter.
Yeah, thank you. Happy Easter to you, Father.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. I know you've not been feeling great, but it's good to see you in better health.
Grazie.
And we know, honestly, dapat nang makapag-meet si Pope Francis kay J.D. Vance, or at least that would have been a significant thing if not for the fact that J.D. Vance just suck so bad. J.D. Vance, who is a Catholic but in name only. He is only the second VP na Katoliko. Pero dahil sa kamuhi-muhing paglalapastangan sa direksyong itinatahak ni Pope Francis, maybe we could understand the fact na ayaw kausapin ni Pope Francis si J.D. Vance and even back then, Trump. Even the Dalai Lama apparently cancelled his meeting with J.D. dahil sa recent coincidences. Pero syempre, it's only a joke. It's from the Babylon Bee, a conservative satire website. At least, nakakatawa, which, you know, hasn't been a thing for a few while. Gotta give them props for that. The process of electing a new pope ay base sa demokrasya within the selected few. Pero sino ang select few na iyon? Sino ang eligible na bumoto sa papal conclave para sa panibagong Santo Papa? The first among equals. Nakakatawan at magiging mukha ng pinakamalaking sekta ng Kristyanismo, ang mga Katolikong hindi nagsisimba tuwing linggo. Maaring bumoto ang mga kardinal na may edad below 80 years old sa Vatican City in Rome para sa papal conclave kung saan sila ay susumpa ng secrecy sa kanilang boto at hindi sila pwedeng, mag-consume or makapag-usap sa labas ng Vatican. Madalas ay hanggang 2 o 4 na botohan ang nangyayari kada araw kung saan pinagmamasdan ng mundo ang isang chimney sa Vatican City kung magbubuga ito ng puti o itim na usok. Kinakailangan ng isang prospective na Santo Papa ang higit 2/3 o super majority ng mga kardinal na iboboto sila para mahalal na Santo Papa. Kapag itim ang sunog, walang Santo Papa kasi sinunog. Kung pati, ibig sabihin ay mayroong Santo Papa paired with the ring of the bell. Ngayon, bakit ko ba laging sinasabi, lalo na nung mga nakarang buwan, na isa sa aking napupusuan at yung gusto kong maging Santo Papa at may malaking posibilidad na maging Santo Papa ay ang our very own Luis Antonio Tagle. With even the betting market putting him neck and neck and plus our conservative candidate, Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the Secretary of State of the Vatican at ang isa sa pang-idealized conservative token of diversity na Besungu or Turkson. Pero hindi naman kilala ang Catholic Church for just token of diversity for that sake. Just because you'd be the first modern Asian Pope or first African descendant after a long while Pope, ikaw nang iboboto ng peer mo. Because again, it is all about the conscience. It is all about who the cardinals think should be in that position. Isa si Tagle sa mga pinakamalaking liberal na cardinal sa Vatican. He is politically left-leaning. 80% ng mga cardinal na eligible para mag-elect ng Santo Papa ay inordina ni Pope Francis. Meaning, he basically made the College of Cardinals into his own image. Mas guguhistuhin nila ang continuation rather than a complete 180 sa mahigit 100 taong pamamalakad ni Francesco. Na hindi ko kinakampanya dahil wala namang bearing yung mga sinasabi ko ang aking rally behind him at sa mga kardinal na boboto. The fact na I don't really, or I am not that religious at all, just adds to the burden. No, si Cardinal Tagle ay tinatawag noon bilang Asian Pope Francis. At ang iniestimang political leaning ng mga kardinal na iboboto para maging Santo Papa ay may kaunting alignment sa kaliwa. The non-religious even wants someone like Pope Francis to continue what he has started. Marami ang umiyak at naging malungkot sa kanyang pagpanaw. But there is hope. And it would be really nice to have a Pope from the second largest Catholic majority nation. Or third, I'm not sure. Lolo Kiko came to the Philippines for a few days noong 2015. The largest people mass was conducted with more than 6 million attendees in Manila. He is near and dear to our hearts, even the largest Catholic majority, and those who don't attend the mass. But I'm not campaigning him, but there are signs. Panoorin ko na lang siguro yung conclave just so that I could ease myself into it habang hindi pa nagkakaroon ng totoong papal conclave. It would be nice for the continuation of Francis' more equitable and egalitarian force from the Catholic Church. Mama Lenny, inendorso si Pacquiao at Abalos, Camille Villar Isko, vote buying daw. Anong nangyari sa inyo? Ina ng lahat ng baddies. Ina ng lahat ng progresibo at ng mga edukadong kabataan. Inendorso ni Attorney Mama Lenny Robredo, Senator aspirant sa dating DILG Secretary Benher Abalos at ang kanyang dati katunggali sa pagkapresidente.
Tatabangan pa siya dahil haloy na siyang nagtatabang sa tutig di Sanaga, lalo na po kang Bagyong Cristil. Nakapira siya digding balik para magtabang. Tahimik sana si pagdigdi pero sige ang tabang. Kaya ni po siguradong pag nagsenador iniyo, tatabangan kita kani, kaya tatabangan naman siya.
The former lighterweight world champion, former super bantamweight world champion, former featherweight world champion, former super featherweight world champion, former lightweight world champion, former light welterweight champion, WBO welterweight champion of the world, and many more dating senator, Manny Pacquiao. I can't do the whole thing. Kasi masyadong gabi ngayon at tulog na yung mga kasama ko sa bahay.
Di ka ba ngayon naka-bulletproof na ako? Sabi ko na Sabi ni Senator Pacquiao, papasubliun na ka daw. Dapat kaya siguradong safe ka, Permi. Papasubliun na ka. Iyan po, nahilig na nindukan. Magkalaban na kami kayan. Magkalaban na kami. Sige pa ang tabang sa ko. Sabi ko, Sen, nagkalaban tayo for president, pero tulong ka pa din ang tulong sa akin. Araw po siya kaya.
No, I am no judge of their intentions or goals. I actually firmly believe that most people that is running for the senatorial elections really do believe in all their hearts na karapat dapat sila sa posisyon just because of their heart. It's just that their capabilities won't either amount to or, won't amount to as much as they'd like to or actually do. This shouldn't even be that big of a surprise. Maraming politiko nang bumisita sa kanya, si VP Sara Duterte, matapos ang pag-alis ni VP Duterte sa tandem na Uniteam.
Pinipagpan niya Francia dito sa amin, wala namang kulay ng politika tinitingnan. Walang partido, politically neutral dito lahat. Lahat na pumupunta para kay ina ay welcome dito sa amin.
Bumibisita rin si Bongbong Marcos kay Leni sa Sorsogon event hosted by Senate President Escudero kasama si Kabir Villar at Bam Aquino.
Invite namin si VP Leni para maging bahagi ng kasanggihan festivities at gayon din samahan ako para salubungin bilang Bicolana dito sa Bicol Region si Pangulong Marcos sa kanyang pagbisita dito sa lalawigan ng Sorsogon.
Unti-unti nagiging kingmaker ang role ni ex-VP Leni because of the split ng Uniteam. Ang nasa isip ng mga politiko ay 50-50 ng share ng votes, with the Dutertes gaining more kasi nga 32 million sila. Samantala si BBM, 31 million lang noong 2022 elections. That Leni's 15 million voters will either make or break the political aspirations ng kung sino man ang gustong maghari sa Pilipinas in the coming years. Kumaga, the kakamping vote would be crucial sa laban ng Marcos at Duterte. Pero, pupulit na lang rin ba ang lahat? Kailangan ka na ba namin lisanin at palitan ng panibagong leader na hindi makikipagkasundo sa mga hindi kaaya-aya sa paningin ng mga kamping? Leni has hedged her bets. Of course, she thinks that the kamping will just blindly follow her. But I think the kampings would. But only if they agree with who she picked, like Ka Daning, Kiko Bam, and Heidi Mendoza. Otherwise, they just wouldn't. It will help for recognition. It will help for recognition, but not enough to vote. Lalo na kung hindi ka aya-aya or that they have already had a sour relationship with that person. Tandaan natin, sinabihan ni Pacquiao na mas masakot pa ang homosexual sa hayop at habados, looks, and acts like someone na kung makikita natin, tapong-tapo ang dalawan. Sure, maganda ang nangyari, maganda ang secretary, but that's not the point. It's a fact na mga siya tapo at siya and that's all that really matters. Leni got to do what she gotta do. Kakampings won't vote for them anyway just because she endorsed these people. But I've already 10 out of the 12 senatorial candidates on lock. And again, alam naman kakampings na may alternative, hindi lang Duterte o Marcos. I've heard them talk about it. Kaya marami ang sumusuporta kay Heidi sa Makabayan Bloc. Kanila Calyodi at Lo Espiritu. Leni got to do what she gotta do. At least with her endorsement, Leni gets to have the graciousness of these senatorials for endorsing them without actually needing to deliver the votes. Kung manalo sila, good for Leni. All the endorsement is actually a good bet. Dahil, kung wala si Kiko Bam, Heidi, Danilo, these people have the money and the machinery to clinch the last few spots despite being low in the rankings. Now, I'm just kidding. I don't really care at all. Although, this does leave a bad taste in my mouth. Tapos ngayon, si Isko Moreno, basta maraming local government aspirants at re-electionists have been kind of called by the Comelec with a show cause order regarding their vote buying and other stuff. Maraming election offenses. Yung mga nakikita natin, yung mga inaakusa sa kanila is not really that strong of a case against them. Kasi sa Maynila, 3 sa top 3 mayoral candidates ay pinatawag na ng Maynila, ay ng Comelec. Si incumbent Mayor Hani Lacuna, Representative Sam Versosa, and the frontrunner or aspirant, Mayor Isko Moreno. Tapos sa Caloocan, si Alang Malapitan with his 3,000 sa Galino Court or some shit like that. I'm voting for Trillanes. And I do hope that it's not just that. Kasi yung ganun, madali lang maalis. Kasi again, naglabas na nga si Alang Malapitan ng response laban sa Comelec. And as I said sa mga comment section niya, it's not the fact that it is legal or not. It is the fact that yes, it is legal. But is it ethical? Kasi masyadong malapit sa eleksyon. Tapos namimigay ka ng pera. That sets a bad example. You might have been following the law, but you're not following the spirit of the law. What is intended for that law. Diba? Tapos ito pa. Ito ang pinaka malaki na dapat nating i-enforce. Hindi yung vote buying thing. Kasi, again, a lot of people already know about that. Ang sinasabi natin, dapat gawin natin 10 pesos or 100 pesos per candidate or per person ang pwedeng gastusin ng isang kandidato sa kanilang saklaw na representante. Kumbaga, kung mayor ka, buong city mo, the voters for that would just be plus times 100 pesos, and that's the only available amount that you could spend. Kasi nakikita ko sa Along Malipitan, alam mo, 3 distrito. Ilang beses silang nagpapa-concert. Tapos ang mga host, bigatin. Mga malakihan ang bayad. Malaki ang bayad sa talent fee. So, hindi dapat natin masyadong pinupush yung the fact na nag-vote buying sila, ganyan-ganyan. Kasi kapag natalo yung sinasabi natin vote buying, ano na lang mangyayari? Di ba? Like, mas lalo pa silang lalakas sa kanilang distrito o syudad. So, that's not where we should be focusing, commonly aviators. So yeah, it's just weird. Tapos si Sara Duterte in-endorse si Isko Moreno for mayoral candidacy. Tapos tinanggal niya yung seal ng OVP. Sabi niya, might be fun to have the president's seal in my podium.
Ang aking opisina, palitan natin ng seal ng Office of the President. Tinanggal ko lang kasi iba kasi yung opisina, iba din yung pangangampanya. Pero kung sa Pangulo lang, pumili na lang kayo. Si Isko Moreno, si Sara Duterte, wala kaming problema. Yan na po ng apelido mo. Ay, sorry, Romualdez pala ang middle name mo. Mabait to. Sabi ko nga, matino na tao, si Senator Amy Marcos. Ready na?
Again, Dr. Bosing Luis and worthy recap weekly edition for roughly the 3rd week of April 2025. Mostly just some more topics and requests to rehabilitas if review I presented them in any way. Salamat sa panonood, bakit mong warming, like, subscribe, follow my links in socials or for Joseph that will be linked down below. So subscribe, of course. Paalam. Ang inan shit yung dalambala na. What the hell?